They are officially the hottest team in all of Philadelphia sports right now. The Utah Blaze, the latest to be shot down in flames by the Philadelphia Soul. Welcome to the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore. It's the Soul Insider, brought to you by our great sponsor, Foods Galore. And hello, everyone. I'm your host, Lou Tilley. Closing out the regular season now, the Soul had already wrapped up their division and a spot in the playoffs, but there was much to play for in their last regular season home game of the year at home this past Friday night against the Utah Blaze. They were trying to come away from it with the best record in the conference to guarantee them a home field all through the playoffs. It was the final regular season home game for the Soul, and Philly takes the field as the hottest team in the Arena Football League with 5 straight wins coming in. The opponent, the Utah Blaze, but it's the Soul on fire from the start. Andre Thurman begins a big night with a short rush to the end zone. And the Soul defense turns things around quickly. They stop Utah on downs. And the league's all-time leading rusher, Derrick Ross, starts to deal out some damage. 14-6, Soul leads after 1. But here, Utah forces a Soul fumble. But the Soul defense once again put out the Blaze on downs. And Thurman snares this throw from Dan Rotteball to stretch the lead instead. And then Derrick Ross blasts home for his second score of the night. And Rotteball spots his big red zone target from 18 yards out. Larry Brackens gives the Soul a big lead at the break, 35-13. And then they pour gasoline on their own fire to start the third. It's Rotteball to Brackens again, and Ross on another run to the end zone again. 49-27 Soul after 3. And the rout is official when Thurman grabs Rotteball's 300th career touchdown pass. And even tight end Jason Jones got in on the fun for a 63-27 lead. 69-39 Soul is the final. It's their 6th straight win, with 7 wins in their last 8. And better still, when Jacksonville lost to Spokane, the Soul now have the best record in their conference and could host 2 home playoff games on the road to the Arena Bowl in Orlando. Jacksonville fell at home to a red-hot team from out west, Spokane. So now the Soul move a half game ahead of them for the best overall record in the American Conference and a chance to have that home field all through the playoffs and right up to a potential Arena Bowl championship game in Orlando. Well, how did they do it? We'll meet some of the key players today. From the defense, Calvin Fantz will join us, and from offense, Andre Thurman, and assistant head coach Phil Bogle will join us as well. It's all ahead right now. The Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore. The Soul Insider is brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer, by Walgreens Pharmacy at the corner of Happy and Healthy. Stop pain. Stop pain. Exactly what it does. Bud Light Music First. It's the sound of history being made. Here we go. And Executive Auto Body, presenting sponsor of the Philadelphia Soul No Fan Left Behind program.
Scott, he's doing a great job for us, whether it be the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Remember this name, Lundy Law.
Bradford White Water Heaters, American made, American owned, built to be the best. Why would you buy any other brand? Visit bradfordwhite.com to find a contractor near you.
It's the Hyundai Drive Your Way Drive of the Game.
That was round a ball to Brackens to close out on your perfect first half for the Soul. They led Utah and would blow out the Blaze 35-13. And again, much of it keyed by the defense. Welcome back to the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore with assistant head coach Phil Vogel, a member of the championship team from 2008. And Phil, I got to congratulate you because the story this year continues to develop has been your defense. You hold Utah to 39 points. There have been 6 times this year where you've held teams under 40, which is unheard of in the indoor game. And you are the league's leading defense now, officially by all the stats. How do you credit, besides yourself, who gets the credit here?
I mean, that's just a testament to our players. You know, they take pride in that. Starting, you know, with our D-line and our secondary meshing together. We got a couple newcomers with Tyron Hurst that comes in, you know, when we get inside the red zone, and he takes pride in between him and Perkins of not letting teams score, you know, when they get down there in that area. So it's just the guys, and, you know, their motivation is not letting guys get in the end zone.
For those of you who aren't totally familiar with the arena game indoors, winning teams generally score on 85% of their possessions in a game. In this game, you were able to stop Utah on 6 out of their 11, so that's a tremendous percentage.
Oh yeah, like I said, once again, it's a testament to our guys. You know, they take pride in that. They don't want to let guys in. They bend but don't break defense, and they try to be really, really stingy when we get down there. So, I mean, we can let them drive down the field, but when they get in within 10 yards and in, you know, we're just trying to hold tight.
What are you doing with that defensive line? Now you've moved to the top in sacks. Brian Robinson just became the all-time sack leader for the Soul this past week. He's number 2 in the league in overall stops for losses. He's been the only constant, though, because you've lost Dustin Barno, you lost Moore Keith over there at defensive end, and one of the guys who's going to be here tonight, they've filled in at about mid-season and really become important parts of your team.
Yeah, we have Kokwe that filled in at nose guard, and Calvin Fance that's taken over the defensive end spot, which brings a lot of speed, which give a lot of teams trouble because he's very, very quick off the edge. So it's just another dynamic, and with the leadership of Perk, and then these guys just fill in and we just keep rolling.
We're going to meet Calvin in just a minute. He's not a real big guy as defensive linemen go, right?
No, not at all, but his speed is what give teams fits. You know, he comes off the edge, and it's not a normal defensive end. It's kind of slow. This guy's fast off the ball.
Fast. Sometimes he gets to the quarterback. It almost looks like he's unblocked. And of course, that's opening things up for Brian on the other side now. Number 12, who's had a couple of huge sacks in this game, and including one against Tommy Grady, became the all-time sack leader in Soul history.
Yeah, and B-Rob is, you know, he works hard. He wants to be the best in the league. He wants to be the best defensive player in the league, and he works hard at that every day. So, you know, that's just a credit to him working hard and his motivation.
When Clint was with us last week, head coach Clint Dozel, he pointed out that you're getting a lot of sacks now, sometimes because the secondary is closing it down deep. They're just holding on to the ball.
Yeah, and then, I mean, like I said, you know, we've had a couple injuries with James Romaine, you know, going down. But, you know, our constant leader back there is having Rayshon Kaiser. You know, he's like a quarterback of our defensive secondary, and, you know, he's pointing guys in the right direction, having everybody moving together, you know, between him and Rico Stevenson. I mean, they're pretty deadly back there. All
right, 6 in a row now, and 7 out of the last 8, and you surged ahead of Jacksonville by a half game for best record now, hoping to have the home field. You got a tough road ahead of you. We'll talk about the next game later in the show when you play San Jose, but I noticed something today. Quarterback, number 1 in the league, Dan Rotteball. Rushing, number 1 in the league, Derek Ross. Receiving, number 1 in the league, Tiger Jones. Defense, number 1, the Soul defensive unit. Your only Brian Robinson, number 2 in total sacks. Even Carlos Martinez, number 2 rated kicker in all of the AFL. And this was after a rugged start when you were struggling around 500 midway through the season. What happened?
I mean, what people understand is, yes, we were coming off of a championship run last year, you know, making it to a championship, but there still are a lot of pieces that are different from last year. So it kind of takes a while for those pieces to gel together. And then once we did that and we meshed, and Dan knows the routes that Thurman's running, you know, that you know, the new receivers are running, you know, he knows where those guys are going to be. He trusts where those guys will be, and now we're moving in the right direction.
Now, you're right. And when you look at the stats after this Utah game, and you see Tiger Jones, 3 catches, 29 yards, you think, oh, we might have been in trouble. But Andre Thurman all of a sudden is a real factor. What's the key to his sudden surge?
I mean, it's the next guy up. You know, they did some good things to try to take Tiger out of the offense, and that's a credit to Dan for making the right reads and finding the open guy. He took advantage of the guys that were there and guys that were open, and, you know, it happened to just be Thurman.
we don't want to jinx him, but boy, your quarterback has been on quite a streak, taking care of the football. We don't want to jinx him.
No, not
we'll
at
be
all.
back to talk with Phil later in the show about the upcoming opponents this week coming on the road at San Jose, one of the perennial contenders for the championship. We'll talk about that, but we'll meet some of these young fellows that we're talking about. Calvin Fance from the defense and Andre Thurman, the outstanding wide receiver. Veteran's been around for a while. You're going to like him. Stay with us. It's the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore.
Ticket packages are available for the next Soul home game. Call the ticket office at 888-789-SOUL or PhiladelphiaSoul.com.
10 years is a long time. 100,000 miles is a long way. So choose the Hyundai Sonata. It comes with the assurance of America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. And now, during the 100,000 Reasons event, see why the Sonata is ranked most dependable midsize car by J.D. Power & Associates.
Get a Sonata and save up to $2,500 or get 0% APR and no payments for 90 days. Hurry to your local Hyundai dealer today.
Bernie Robbins Jewelers in Radnor, Newtown, Marlton, Summers Point, and the Borgata.
Remember this name, Lundy Law.
Here's the Colonial Marble rock-solid player of the game.
Wide receiver Andre Thurman is the Colonial Marble rock-solid player of the game. And how about that? He's with us right now on the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore here at the Parks Casino at Chickies and Pete's. A good crowd here tonight. A lot of the Soul fans came out to see you here tonight. Andre, well done. You were telling me in the win over Utah, another blowout, that you're kind of benefiting from the fact that Tiger Jones is the #1 rated receiver in the league, and apparently Utah knew that.
Absolutely. I mean, Tiger Jones he's the best receiver in football right now, and through 15, 16 weeks, you know, he's been consistent, and teams haven't found a way to stop him. And I think Utah put a major emphasis on shutting him down, slowing him down a little bit, and I was able to take advantage. And you know, just another piece of the puzzle. We're rolling right now on offense.
You're really taking advantage of it. Is it fair to call yourself kind of the possession underneath receiver? Is that accurate?
I like to base myself all around. I like to feel like I'm able to do it all. But right now, I take the top off. There's some zones that we're taking advantage of underneath, and me working on yards after the catch has been huge this year.
Yeah, a lot of big runs. And of course, you started off the scoring on like a little end around play. It was a rushing touchdown for you.
First rushing touchdown. Called up something. We know that a lot of teams are going to focus on Ross in the red zone. We were able to kind of isolate him a little bit and kind of play action right off of him. Coast is clear.
You really have the closest thing to what outdoor fans are accustomed to as a balanced offense, don't you? I mean, you've really got a running game.
Right, we do, and that it keeps your defense on its toes. Anytime we can run, we can draw with Ross. We'll screen you. We can throw down the field. It really keeps you tough on the toes. Keeps everything balanced. Keeps pressure off Dan and teams with a great pass rush. So, I mean, at any time, any one of us can go out and have a great game.
Isn't it remarkable, too, what your coaches have done with the injuries on defense and all the players that they have moved through there, including Calvin Fance, who will be with us in a minute?
It is, and we've started out at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, talking about, if one man goes down, next man up. And I think that everybody has bought into that system. We pretty much, for the most part, we haven't made much changes during training camp. So this is a group that's well knit. We've been together for quite some time now, and I think that we're all buying into the same system, and it's working.
And you told us the last time you were here you're looking forward to a coaching career of your own. Give us a scouting report. You're on the road now to San Jose. They used to have one of the all-time great quarterbacks there. He stepped down, but the guy out there now you know as well.
Yeah, good old Russ Micklen. Russ Micklen and I, we played ball together in Canada in 2006 and in UFL in 2009, 2011. So I know him pretty well. Very smart, very, very smart guy. We're going to have to get pressure on him. He'll pick us apart if we don't. We know that going in. So it's key for guys like, we call him Pudge without fans, and B-Rob to get to the quarterback, D-line, and the secondary to slow up some of those receivers.
Okay, now you're going to go into a career in coaching, and we talked about this briefly. With that voice of yours, have you thought about broadcasting a little bit?
Lou, if you tell me I could do it,
I believe you could.
I feel like I could do it.
Oh, look at that smile. I mean, he's made for television, man. When these old guys start stepping aside, the spots open up.
The more you can do, right?
You're a young guy in this business, remember that.
All right.
Nice job. Andre Thurman, the Colonial rock-solid player of the game and the Soul's latest big win. It's 6 in a row now. And we'll introduce you to one of the stars from the defensive side as we continue the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore.
Ticket packages are available for the next Soul home game. Call the ticket office at 888-789-SOUL or PhiladelphiaSoul.com.
Colonial Marble and Granite. Quality, selection, service, and price. We're the nation's leading fabricator. We buy direct, saving you money. Offering thousands of choices and hundreds of colors. All on site in our one-of-a-kind indoor slab yard. Colonial Marble and Granite. The original home of the 1999 special. Get your new granite countertop for just $19.99. Fully installed. Stop by our King of Prussia Super Showroom and see how easy, affordable, and beautiful your countertops can be. Visit us online at colonialmarble.net.
Remember this name, Lundy Law.
Hi, I'm Tony Mitchell, Brinker Simpson & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We offer comprehensive financial compliance and tax services. As Philadelphia's leading tax and advisory firm, we let our clients say it best.
Tony and his team at Brinker Simpson provided the expertise of a large accounting firm, but didn't forget their small business roots.
Brinker Simpson has a clear business vision that looks beyond spreadsheets and numbers and sees opportunities.
At Brinker Simpson, firm relationships build success.
And now, the Stop Pain Stop of the Game.
The stop pain, stop of the game, Brian Robinson, big number 12. With that sack, not only did it turn into a Soul touchdown, but he sets the all-time franchise record for most sacks for the Philadelphia Soul. And a great season he's having. Welcome back to the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore from Chickies and Pete's here at the beautiful Park Casino. And what the other side of that defensive line equation, Calvin Fantz is joining us now. You didn't start out the year with the team. Injuries gave you your shot, right?
Yeah, you gotta take advantage of the opportunities. Coming in as a rookie,
You were home just trying to stay in shape, hoping the phone would ring, or?
Well, I came in during training camp.
Right.
Or whatever.
So you were on the practice squad.
Mm-hmm. And just wait.
You got your shot.
Yeah.
Now, you're a defensive end, and this is an era where we're saying that B-Rob might be undersized and he's like 6'3", 285, and you're what?
6 foot 240.
6 foot 240. That's small for a fullback, right?
Yeah.
You must have been hearing that your whole career, though, right?
Yeah. It don't fade me at all.
No?
Nah.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's more like a challenge. I take it as a challenge.
But baby, you got to see this guy in action down at the Wells Fargo Center. When I say fast, it's like he's a sprinter coming out of the blocks in the 40. That is your game, right?
Yeah. All the off season, that's all I work on: speed, explosion, all that. It just make me a better player.
And you play, like if this was the field, you play about this high. I mean, you're coming out low and fast, like a missile, right?
Yeah. They can't touch you, they can't block you.
They can't catch you. That's right. And you've had a boatload of sacks already, and you had an impact in this game. You're originally from Texas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Houston. Then you played at Angelo State, and that's where you ran into Coach Dalzell?
Yes, sir. He contacted me after my senior season. I didn't have my shot at the NFL, so I had a trial for him, made the team, playing defensive end.
And there you were. You got your shot. You were in preseason camp. You waited your time. A couple of injuries, sadly. More Keith Brown and Dustin Barno, and the new rotation of guys has come in and is doing a terrific job. You feeling real confident now with 2 games left in the regular season before the playoffs start?
Oh, very confident. Teammates gave me all the confidence in the world. They pushed me.
They gave you a nickname too, didn't they? What?
Pudge.
Pudge? What?
Oh, that's been my nickname since I was.
Well, Pudge, keep pounding him. Using that speed and that leverage. He's a real athlete at defensive end. Calvin Fantz, part of the #1 rated Soul defense in all of the Arena Football League. We'll be back with more right after this in the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore.
Ticket packages are available for the next Soul home game. Call the ticket office at 888-789-SOUL or PhiladelphiaSoul.com.
Ron Jaworski here for Stop Pain, the topical pain reliever I reach for when I need to stop pain cold, because nothing lasts longer. Stop Pain helps manage the pain associated with a vibrant, healthy lifestyle. So when you need fast pain relief that really works, look for the red stop sign to stop pain in its tracks. Stop Pain is available in gel, spray, and my favorite, hands-free roll-on application. Stop Pain can be found nationwide at CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, and Walmart. Stop Pain, exactly what it does.
Ready for a little fun? You could scratch your way to instant winning. Play the Pennsylvania Lottery's new instant game, Wheel of Fortune, with 10 top prizes of $100,000 or a trip to Hollywood and an audition for a chance to be a contestant on TV's Wheel of Fortune. It's kind of fun to give your luck a spin. Keep on scratching.
Bradford White Water Heaters. American made, American owned. Built to be the best. Why would you buy any other brand? Visit BradfordWhite.com to find a contractor near you.
Remember this name, Lundy Law.
Soul Injury Report brought to you by 1-800-LUNDY Law. Remember this name. Here's a look at this weekend's game. The Injury Report brought to you by 1-800-LUNDY Law. Remember this name. Soul Insider brought to you by Foods Galore and by 1-800-LUNDY Law. Remember that name. And on that injury list, we've been talking about it all through the show. Kind of amazing that the Soul has not only weathered these injuries, but transitioned into arguably a better team. Back for our final segment here on the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore with assistant head coach Phil Bogle, member of the championship team in 2008. You go on the road now, and I've been with you on the road when you go out to play at San Jose. Beautiful place where the Sharks play hockey. Long-time, perennial, great ownership, powerful unit. Even with the loss of their great player to retirement grievance, they have moved right along. Excellent record again. Out west, there's 4 teams that are really in a tussle, so they're not going to be mailing it in this weekend. They're still playing for the top playoff slot in their division.
Yeah, those guys are in a tough division over there with having, the top 3 teams over there, with Spokane, Arizona, and themselves. So they're definitely not going to lay down, and they're not going to sit anyone out this game. And, they need this game just as well as we do because we're still fighting for our conference as well.
Right. You look at where you stack up in the American Conference for home field advantage. You're in this tussle with Jacksonville, and Jacksonville will be on the road at New Orleans. Now, the couple times that I've been out west with you, it's been to San Jose and to Spokane, and we got scalped both times. That road trip is tough.
Yeah, but you can say if you look at our record this year, we're playing a lot better on the road. I think we're 6-1 on the road this year. So, our team is, business trip every time we're on the road this year, and we've fared pretty well. So, good road team.
I remember that trip to San Jose. I was surprised because we practiced for the indoor arena game. We practiced outside in San Jose. Does that throw you out of your rhythm a little bit?
No, not really. But for the most part, we'll get most of our practice done here, and we'll do our little walkthrough there, so where it won't, mess with us too much. So we'll be fine.
The first playoff game for the Soul, first round, is guaranteed to be a home game, August 3rd, 7:05. You can buy your tickets right now. Interesting, though, that you close out the regular season as you started it on the road with 2 games. You're going to San Jose, then you'll wrap up in San Antonio. But I've been on the road, as I said, with you guys, and it's kind of good in some ways to be away, isn't it? The team really bonds, and
you have a lot more time to kind of spend with your teammates. Every guy has a roommate pretty much on the road, so you spend time with your teammates. They usually go out to dinner together, do something. If there's a movie or something, guys usually kind of hang together. And then there's no distraction of, friends and family tickets and things like that. So you kind of get away and then kind of just focus on football. So, we got a good group of guys that are good at that.
Phil, good luck. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
Hope to see you back here. You're a championship player with the Philadelphia Soul, with another one by the time this whole year is over. Remember, this week's game out on the coast against San Jose, so be sure to join us next week right here on the Soul Insider for all the highlights. Keep track of your Soul as they drive towards another Arena Bowl. I'm Lou Tilley. Now for everyone here at the Soul Insider, you have a good week. The Soul Insider is brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer, by Walgreens Pharmacy at the corner of Happy and Healthy. Stop pain. Stop pain. Exactly what it does. Bud Light Music First. It's the sound of history being made. Here we go. And Executive Auto Body, presenting sponsor of the Philadelphia Soul No Fan Left Behind program.